Welcome to our channel History of Coins, where we explore the hidden gems of numismatics. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of rare quarter-dollar coins, cause some of these coins hold an incredible history, and some are worth millions. So today, we are gonna uncover the rarest varieties and their values. So make sure to watch the complete video and find out if you have one of these. Now let's continue our today's video. Top 1 today, we are diving into one of the most iconic pieces of American coinage, a coin that carries not only history, but also a surprising value for collectors. I am talking about the Washington quarter dollar struck to honor the bicentennial of the United States, dated with the dual year 1776 to 1976. At first glance, it may look like an ordinary coin that many of us have seen in pocket change. But what makes this quarter truly fascinating is the story behind its design, its rarity in certain conditions, and the remarkable errors that can turn a simple 25-cent piece into a true treasure. That let's set the stage. The year was 1976, 200 years after the signing of the Declaration of Independence. To celebrate this milestone, the United States Mint decided to release special commemorative designs on the quarter, half dollar, and dollar. For the quarter, the reverse design featured a colonial drummer boy, a symbol of the young nation's fight for freedom, with a torch encircled by 13 stars above. On the obverse, the familiar portrait of George Washington remained, but with a subtle difference. The date was replaced by the dual year, 1776 to 1976. This was the first time in U.S. coinage history that circulating coins carried a dual date, and that alone makes them stand out for collectors. Now you might be thinking, millions of these coins were minted, so how can one possibly be rare or valuable? The truth is, while most bicentennial quarters remain common and worth face value, there are special versions and unique minting circumstances that make a few of them incredibly desirable. For example, the Mint produced both copper-nickel-clad versions for circulation and silver-clad versions for collector sets. The silver issues are already scarcer, and when preserved in pristine condition, they can attract strong interest from coin enthusiasts, but the real excitement comes with errors. During the minting process, mistakes sometimes occurred: double strikes, off-center strikes, missing elements, or dramatic die clashes. A bicentennial quarter with a significant error transforms from a commemorative coin into a one-of-a-kind rarity. Collectors love these mistakes because no two are exactly the same, and the uniqueness adds both charm and value. Even subtle differences, like a proof coin struck with a frosted cameo finish or a silver issue mistakenly struck on the wrong planchet, can skyrocket in worth. It is the thrill of the hunt and the possibility of uncovering something unusual that keeps collectors searching through these coins even decades later. Condition also plays a huge role. A circulated coin with scratches and wear may never be worth more than a few cents over face value. But a flawless example graded at the highest levels by a professional grading service can be worth thousands. Combine high grade with silver composition or a dramatic mint error, and you have a recipe for a truly valuable treasure. This is why the bicentennial quarter is so captivating. It represents American history, it has multiple varieties, and it carries the potential for hidden gems. Every coin tells a story, and in this case, that story could also translate into serious collector value. Imagine holding a small piece of metal that millions of people have overlooked, but because of a unique error or pristine preservation, it becomes a highlight of a collection, a conversation piece, and even an investment. So how much could one of these coins be worth if you happen to find a rare and exceptional example? Brace yourself, because an extremely rare Washington Bicentennial quarter dollar with the right combination of rarity, condition, and error has been known to reach as high as $85,000. Top 2, we are exploring one of the most intriguing coins from the United States, a coin that looks ordinary but has captured the imagination of collectors around the world. It is the Washington quarter dollar struck in 1969. At first glance, this coin appears to be just another 25-cent piece from circulation. But if you look deeper, you'll find that certain examples of this coin can be worth far more than anyone would expect. Stay tuned, because this is a story of rarity, errors, and hidden value that makes the 1969 Washington quarter a must-know for every serious coin collector. Let's begin with a bit of history. The Washington quarter series began in 1932, introduced to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design became so iconic that it continued for decades, with Washington's profile on the obverse and the majestic eagle on the reverse. By the late 1960s, the United States was experiencing social and economic changes, and coins from this period were produced in very large numbers. The 1969 quarter, struck in copper nickel clad after silver was removed from circulating quarters just a few years earlier, was part of this new era in American coinage. Because so many were minted, the majority of 1,969 quarters you find in pocket change today are worth only face value. However, collectors know that the real treasure lies in the few coins that escape the minting process with extraordinary errors or in coins that have survived the past half-century in immaculate, uncirculated condition. These are the pieces that can transform an ordinary coin into something remarkable. One of the most famous aspects that makes the 1969 Washington quarter stand out is the presence of rare mint errors. For example, off-center strikes, double die obverse coins, or even coins struck on the wrong planchet are the types of mistakes that collectors dream about. Imagine a 1969 quarter where Washington's profile appears doubled, or where the lettering shows clear doubling under magnification. Such errors are extremely rare, and when certified by professional grading services, they can command huge prices in the collector market. Another point to consider is condition. Coins that have been used in circulation for decades naturally show scratches, wear, and discoloration. But if you were lucky enough to save a coin directly from a mint roll or proof set back in 1969, and it has been carefully preserved without handling, it might qualify as mint state or even proof condition. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Coins graded MS67 or above are incredibly scarce for this year, and collectors are willing to pay premium prices for these near-perfect survivors. Proof issues also play a role. In 1969, the San Francisco Mint produced proof sets with quarters that had sharp details and mirrored surfaces. While common proofs may not bring extraordinary prices, a flawless example with a cameo or deep cameo designation can attract serious attention. Pair that with the possibility of a minting error, and suddenly you are holding a coin that is not just collectible, but truly rare. It is this blend of history, rarity, and the thrill of discovering a hidden error that makes the 1969 Washington quarter such a fascinating coin. Collectors know that most coins will never rise in value, but every so often, one special coin slips through the cracks, surviving the years with unique qualities that turn it into a valuable treasure. That is why coin enthusiasts continue to search rolls of quarters and dig through old collections, hoping to uncover one of these elusive gems. Now comes the exciting part. You might be wondering just how much one of these special 1969 Washington quarters could be worth if it checks all the boxes: rare error, perfect condition, and high demand among collectors. The answer may surprise you. An extremely rare 1969 Washington quarter in the right circumstances has reached an astonishing value of $82,000. Top 3. We are diving into a coin that many people overlook, but collectors know can hold incredible surprises. I'm talking about the Washington quarter dollar from 1972. At first glance, it seems like just another coin from your pocket change. But the truth is, this piece of American history hides secrets that can make it one of the most exciting finds for collectors. So sit back, listen closely, and let's explore what makes this quarter so fascinating and potentially very valuable. The Washington quarter has been a cornerstone of American coinage since 1932, when it was first introduced to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. The design was so popular that it became the standard quarter for decades. By 1972, the design still featured Washington's profile on the obverse and the bold eagle perched on a branch on the reverse. But while the design itself remained familiar, the circumstances around minting these coins make certain examples from 1972 rare and highly collectible. To understand the story, remember that in the mid-1960s the mint had shifted away from silver coinage due to rising metal costs. By 1972, quarters were made of copper nickel clad, and millions were produced for circulation at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. Most of these coins entered daily commerce, rattling around in cash registers and pockets, slowly wearing down over the years. These common examples are worth only face value today. But within this massive production run, a few extraordinary pieces slipped through, and it is those hidden gems that command incredible prices. The key lies in rarity and errors. Every collector knows that mistakes at the mint are what turn a common coin into a sought-after treasure. In 1972, some Washington quarters were struck with dramatic doubling on the obverse, creating a striking visual effect where letters and numbers appeared doubled under magnification. These double-die obverse quarters are extremely scarce and are among the most desired varieties of this date. Off-center strikes and coins struck on the wrong planchet also occurred, making those coins instantly rare because of their uniqueness. Condition is equally important. A circulated 1972 quarter with scratches and where might not catch anyone's attention, but an uncirculated example with bright luster and sharp details can bring strong collector interest. Coins graded at the highest levels, especially those with mint state ratings above MS66, are exceedingly hard to find because most coins were used heavily in commerce. Proof versions minted in San Francisco also attract attention, especially when they show cameo or deep cameo finishes. But even rarer are proof coins with errors, which can multiply their value dramatically. Collectors are drawn to coins like the 1972 quarter not just for their monetary worth, but for the thrill of the hunt. The idea that an ordinary-looking coin could turn out to be a rare variety or an error coin worth thousands is what keeps people searching through rolls of quarters, old coin jars, and inherited collections. It's the combination of history, artistry, and the chance of discovery that makes numismatics such a captivating hobby. And now, the part you've been waiting for. When you take rarity, error variety, and pristine condition all together, a 1972 Washington quarter can reach an extraordinary price. One such coin, a rare and exceptional example, has been valued as high as $79,000. Top for we are shining the spotlight on a coin that might look like an everyday piece of change, yet it holds secrets that make it one of the most fascinating quarters of the 20th century. We are talking about the United States Washington quarter dollar from the year 1974. At first glance, it seems like nothing special, a coin you might find in your pocket or change jar. But when you take a closer look, the story changes dramatically. This coin, in certain rare conditions and with specific minting errors, has become a collector's dream. The Washington quarter has a long and proud history. First minted in 1932 to celebrate the 200th birthday of George Washington. By 1974, the design was well established, Washington's bold portrait on the obverse and the American eagle on the reverse. Millions of these quarters were struck in 1974 at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints. Most of them were used heavily in circulation, tossed around in wallets, purses, and vending machines, eventually losing their luster. For the average person, a 1974 quarter is just worth 25 cents. But for the dedicated coin collector, a small fraction of these coins hold far greater value. Why? Because rarity is born from the unusual. One of the key attractions of the 1974 quarter comes from mint errors. Collectors are always on the lookout for double-die obverse quarters, where the lettering or date appears doubled due to a mistake in the minting process. These varieties can be dramatic or subtle, but when they are bold and easy to see, they become highly sought after. Another fascinating error involves off-center strikes, where the coin design is shifted noticeably, leaving part of the surface blank. There are also wrong planchet errors, where a quarter was accidentally struck on a coin blank intended for another denomination. These mistakes create unique pieces, and uniqueness drives value. Condition is just as critical. Think of the difference between a coin that has been in circulation for decades versus one that has been carefully preserved since leaving the mint. Circulated coins with scratches and where rarely interest serious collectors, but a pristine uncirculated 1974 quarter, especially one graded above MS66, is a real rarity. Add a minting error or a proof strike with deep cameo contrast, and you suddenly have a coin that stands out from the millions. Proof issues from the San Francisco Mint are especially admired when they show sharp details and beautiful finishes, but errors in proof coins are even more captivating to collectors. What makes coins like the 1974 quarter so interesting is not just the financial value, but the sense of discovery. Imagine holding a small coin that looks ordinary to most people, but under closer inspection, it reveals itself to be a double-die error or a near-perfect uncirculated survivor. For collectors, that thrill of finding something extraordinary in the ordinary is priceless. It's a reminder that history and hidden treasure can sometimes be sitting right in the palm of your hand. So, just how much could one of these 1974 Washington quarters be worth if it has the right combination of rarity, condition, and error? The answer is staggering. A rare and exceptional example of this coin has been valued at an impressive $76,000. Top 5, we're going to take a closer look at a coin that many people have seen, but very few realize could be hiding extraordinary value. It's the Washington quarter dollar from the year 1985. On the surface, it might seem like just another quarter that has passed through countless hands. But for coin enthusiasts, this year holds some special surprises that make certain examples of the 1985 quarter incredibly collectible. The Washington quarter has a long history. First struck in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By the mid-1980s, the quarter had already become a familiar sight in American wallets and cash registers. The design remained the same: George Washington's profile on the obverse, and the powerful image of an eagle clutching arrows and olive branches on the reverse. The year 1985 saw millions of these coins produced at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, and most of them ended up in everyday circulation. But while the average 1985 quarter is only worth face value, a select few examples tell a much different story. So, what makes a 1985 Washington quarter special? The answer lies in two words: rarity and errors. During the minting process, mistakes sometimes slip through. Collectors are always searching for double-die varieties, where the lettering, numbers, or even Washington's profile show noticeable doubling. These errors are rare, and when found, they quickly become some of the most valuable coins of the date. Another kind of error is the off-center strike, where the design is noticeably shifted on the coin's surface, leaving a blank crescent of metal visible. There are also wrong planchet errors, where a quarter might have been accidentally struck on a dime or nickel blank. Each of these rare occurrences transforms an ordinary coin into a one-of-a-kind collectible. Condition also plays a critical role. A well-worn quarter from 1985 might not be worth more than its spending power, but uncirculated examples with sharp details and full mint luster are far more desirable. Collectors especially prize coins graded MS66 or higher, because such flawless survivors are exceedingly rare for this year. Proof coins from the San Francisco Mint add another layer of interest, with their mirror-like fields and frosted designs. Proof errors, such as double dies or striking flaws, are even more intriguing to collectors who crave unique pieces for their collections. The beauty of coin collecting is that every coin tells a story, and the 1985 Washington quarter is no different. It represents a slice of American history, a moment in time when millions of coins were produced for daily life, yet hidden among them are treasures that most people will never notice. For collectors, the thrill comes from the possibility that an ordinary pocket change quarter could actually be a hidden gem worth thousands. It's this element of surprise that keeps coin lovers searching rolls of quarters, checking old collections, and studying every detail under a magnifying glass. So now comes the exciting part. Just how valuable can a rare 1985 Washington quarter really be? If you combine a dramatic mint error, outstanding preservation, and strong collector demand, the results can be astonishing. In fact, one extraordinary example of this coin has been valued at an incredible $72,000.